Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna wait for some people to get on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you ever seen me live?
No, I never seen
Really?
it.
Really? Yeah. Layered on
my
layer.
head up like that so I can see the
Hello. We got one person on. We're gonna wait for a few more people to get on. Hello, Latasha. How are you? Latifa, hello, Miss Danny. Hello. I'm gonna introduce the person on my left in a moment. Hello, Sharice. Hello. Gonna wait for a few more people to get on. Hello, Angela. Hello, Hazel. Gonna introduce in a minute when we get started. I usually wait for about 2 minutes. Hello, I hope you guys are having a happy Saturday. Hello, Yolanda. Hello, K-Life. Hello.
This is when this is when they have to hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the like button.
Yeah. That's what it is. Hello. You guys come on in. Hey, Susu. Hello. I'm going to introduce, he's not a visitor. I'm at his home. So we're going to introduce him in a minute. Hello. Hey, Yaya. Hope you guys are having a happy Saturday. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Tangi. Carol is in the comments. Together we are two chicks with a side hustle where we post work at home jobs, side gigs, and side hustles. We do these lives to help you get started on your work from home journey. If you are new to working from home, if you are not new to working from home, we help you maximize your time and your money. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I am going to introduce the guy on my left. So, okay, guys, you know that I have been telling you that we were going to bring someone who can explain taxes for you. And it's not tax season yet, but I wanted to introduce him to you guys. So when he comes on in December and really give you help, you'll know who he is. So I'm going to introduce, this is my husband's best friend, John Strong, and he has been doing taxes for how long?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years now. So he has a great handle on the 1099 versus W-2 and the credits that you can receive. You know, I always tell you guys I am not a tax professional, but I will bring you one on to help you on your work at home journey and how you can use the 1099 income to benefit you. So, John, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, well, first of all, I do want to thank you for having me, Tangi.
You're welcome.
I truly appreciate it. I want to say I want to welcome everyone in your chat. And what I want to say is taxes are, if you can make it difficult or you can make it as easy as possible. First you have to do is make a determination on it. Do you want to be an employee or do you want to be your own boss and own your own business? Now, I can tell you that for now, if you own your own business, that's a very good thing to do because you're able to write off many of your expenses. We'll get into that later, but I do want to let you know that and also to start a business, you don't have to go out and get a big license and get all this registration. You can just decide right now today that I'm in business and then start tracking your expenses. All right. And then, obviously you start trying to get in income. Okay.
And the way that we sometimes get in income is through 1099 employment, which is sort of like your own business. And that is what a lot of our viewers are. We have a lot of 1099. So if you guys, are in the business of 1099 employment and don't know how to write off your taxes, this is where John comes in. He can give you the lowdown. He breaks it down very simple so that you can understand it. He has been doing taxes. So if you need someone to do your taxes or to help you understand how to track your expenses, how to write off the things you need to write off, and how to let that create you income when it comes to your taxes. He is able to do it for you. Like he said, he's been doing taxes for 20 years, so he can give you the ins and outs, the tax laws, the things that can help you. So at the end of your taxes, you won't owe either that much or anything, or you might have a refund.
A refund. Yeah.
So that is what I wanted to bring him on. If you guys have any simple questions that you wanted to ask regarding taxes, we can answer them today. But we're going to bring him on in December when it's close to tax time, and we're going to have an in-depth conversation on how you can use his service, or how he can help you as far as write-offs and things like that. So if we have any questions today, you can put them in the chat. We're not going to be on long. I just wanted to introduce him because I didn't want you guys to, the first time you're seeing him is when we bring him on. I don't do that. I try to let you, establish something. If you want to give your email address, John, if they can email you with questions, or if you want to give your, information, that is fine. But he will be back on in December to answer specific questions for you guys as far as 1099 employment, as far as write-offs and things like that. So do we have any questions?
I know they got to have some questions. I know that the main question is, what can I write off today?
Yeah.
And I tell you, you can write off many things from when you're doing charitable work. You can even write off some things about when you're going to visit your doctor, if it meets those standards of the write-off. Now, we won't know all the tax laws until about December, because as you know, Congress is always updating the tax laws. But I will be able to tell you about the new tax laws you can take advantage of, and I will tell you what items you can write off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, in my case, like, and you work with me before, John, we wrote off the office where I do my work. Cell phone bills, things like that. So those tax laws will also apply to some of you guys who do the 1091 work. We got it.
Okay. What's the question?
She says, Kimberly, thank you, Kimberly. What about receipts on our write-offs if we don't have them all?
Well, that's a tricky one, because I'm going to tell you, you should be tracking all of your expenses. Now, there are some things that you don't have to track if it's under $10 or so. You can kind of note it in a pad. Some people do that. They actually just get a notepad and write down, hey, I spent $10 on this date at this time. I spent $10 for a Big Mac and fries and Coke for when I was entertaining a client. That can be done. That's one way of doing it. There's also some software that would, I think Quicken has a software where you can actually track your expenses, and they make it so simple. You can actually put it on your phone now, and to track your expenses on your phone.
Okay. And we have another question for Eris. Can you write off copays?
When you say copays, what do you mean?
Eris, can you
your personal copays or under a business?
Hey, short lady, C. Can you write off your utilities?
Yes, if you use a home office, you can only write off a portion of your utilities that you're using for that home office. So if you, like, say, use 10% of your home for business, then in that case, you can write off 10% of your utilities.
So she said for dentist or doctor visits.
Well, here's the thing. You can write off your premiums if it's for the business. Now, if it's a personal expense, then no. But if it's covered under your business and you are getting your insurance through your business,
personal,
No, no.
No.
I wish you could. You know, at one time in the '80s, you used to be able to write off interest on cars, right? So, but now we know we can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Eris. But I'm sure you have other things that you can write off. A lot of things that people don't know you can write off. Like if you travel, I know, we had talked about that before.
Yes.
And you hand out your business cards. You can,
Yeah, if you're traveling and you make it a business trip, like you start talking to people about your business and things like that, then yeah, that's considered you're doing business for travel. You're traveling for business. The thing about some things about travel expenses is, like, for instance, if you're not DOT, meaning if you don't drive, for interstate purposes, well, in that case, you will only be able to write off about 50% of your meals. So you have to take in consideration that. But the best thing about owning a business, this is the part people don't tell you, is on the front of that 1099, on the front of that the tax return, right? On the front of that tax return, you're listing all of your expenses. Well, you have an opportunity, if you have a business, to reduce your taxable income at that moment. If you wait until when you do it personally, when you're writing off your deductions, when you're doing your deductions and credits, that's too late, because many times you have to have a lot of expenses to reduce those deductions and credits. And one thing is, it's not one for one. So on the front end of the tax form, you're able to write off all of your business expenses. So let's say you make $20,000 in business, and you have $23,000 in expenses. Well, then you have a negative tax liability just by doing that. And many times when you start a business, if you really track your expenses, you will have, you may not make a profit. And we know about the president, he's known for that, right? He buys real estate, and what he said is right. Hey, if you buy real estate, you can actually write off what they call phantom expenses or depreciation on a property or so. I mean, there's so many things you can do with your taxes. Just so many things you can do.
Yeah. Hey, Short Lady C, this is, I remember when I told you I was going to bring on a tax professional to explain a lot of the tax things as far as 1099 versus employee, as far as helping you on your taxes. Well, this is him. As you guys know, I went out of town and he lives where I went. So this is him. And we're going to get in more detail in December. But I just wanted to bring him on to introduce him to you guys so you'll be familiar with him. So when he comes on in December and we get into talking, then you guys are at least have seen him before, and we won't spring him on you like, somebody you didn't know. So his name is John, and he's been doing taxes for over 20 years, and he has done my husband and I's taxes. And I'm, like I told you guys before, I am not a tax professional, but since we are doing 1099 jobs and employee jobs, I wanted to get him on here so you can find a way that it will benefit you. So this is him, and I was just bringing him on to give you guys a preview of what we'll be talking about in December when we get into our real tax discussion. Yeah. So do we have any more questions? Thank you. And guys, if you need any tax service, he does do taxes on the regular for people. So if you have any tax questions, you want to give your information?
Yeah. You can always reach me by email, and that is John L. Strong Jr., and Jr. is JR, @gmail.com. John L. Strong Jr., yes, @gmail.com.
And I put it in the chat for you guys. And we have a question from Nat CK1. Is it hard to start your own tax business?
No, it's not. It's not. Like I mentioned before, if you want to go into business, make that determination today. And then when you make that determination, then you start tracking your expenses. And for a tax professional, there's going to be some expenses. I mean, you're going to have to pay for training. There's some training you want to get. And you can get the training from H&R Block, sometimes offers the training. There's also seminars and webinars. You can also get training to get yourself ready to do taxes.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about taxes. I just know what I know, and I've learned a lot from him in regarding in taxes. So the little bit of information I do know, I learned from him. So that's all I know. And I always tell you guys, I'm not a tax professional, but I wanted to keep my word and to have him come on today and say, this is who I am. Like you said, if you have any questions, you can email him. You can discuss whatever you need to discuss with him. He is a tax professional of 20 years, and he does great service, and he backs up his work. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you have any, thank you, Shore Lady. See, if you have any troubles on your taxes or anything like that, or if you haven't filed in years, he can help you.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are not sure what you need to do to start your own business, if you are not sure what tax liabilities that or whatever that you need to do, he can answer those questions.
Mm-hmm.
He will be doing taxes this year, so we're going to get his information on, and we're going to probably run some type of special or something.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
we're going to partner together. And for those of you who don't have anyone to do your taxes or are looking for someone reasonable and won't charge your arm and a leg, like H&R Block, the big box companies. He is very reasonable, and he has done this for years. He has done my family taxes,
Mm-hmm.
My sisters, my aunts. So yeah, he's very reliable. Oh, you're welcome, Yaya. So guys, I always tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to, give it to you plain and simple so you can understand. And that's what he does. He makes it easy for you to understand. He explains to you every step of the way, each step that he takes. He gives you, the information. He teaches you. So
exactly.
I don't like to mess with people that don't educate me. And he educates you in the tax codes and, laws and things that are favorable to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I think he is probably the best person that I know that I would trust to bring to the audience, to the channel, to say, you know what, he stays on top of the codes and things every year.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best person that I know that I've dealt with, because I've dealt with the big box companies and things like that, but they don't explain. They want you to keep coming back and just telling you what they want you to have. And he really, takes his time and go through your specific needs and what pertains to you. So that is why I recommend him. No, Short Lady. See, you want to explain it? She said, do you have to have your taxes done in your own state?
Do you have to have your taxes done in your own state?
She lives in Texas. So.
No. A tax professional could do taxes. You do your federal taxes, and even some states have individual taxes, but there is software to kind of walk you through even different states. So a person can, even like when you use the online tax services, many of those people may be in California, and actually many of those people may be abroad doing your taxes. So you don't have to be in the state of the person where you live to have somebody do your taxes.
Yeah,
you don't.
And a lot of the big box, ran into a lot of scams and things with big box and things like that. And so I trust him with my information, and you're dealing with your information. And so a lot of the big box, there have been problems with people stealing information and things like that. And so that is why I would prefer small tax services, people that you actually have a relationship with. So that is why I refer John, because he's been doing this. He's knowledgeable. He knows tax codes. And like I said, he educates you not just do your taxes and hand them to you and say, this is how much you get. He explains, if you have any questions, and he also gives you help after the taxes is done. So if you need something, or if you're wondering, can I do this? Can I write this off? Can I do this? If I need to, will this help me next year?
Exactly.
So he educates you on things that, may benefit you in the future.
Exactly. So, empowerment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Do we have any more questions? And those are some good questions.
What's the next one?
Say, are 1099 jobs worth it by itself, meaning that you will owe more than you make?
No, the best thing about 1099 job is like we've been saying is you can write off your expenses. So if you're getting a 1099 job, whatever you're doing to make that money, like if you have to get in your car and drive 100 miles or whatever, you can write that off. You can write off the gas expense, or you may just decide to write off to depreciate the car while using it.
If you don't have a W-2 to offset the 1099.
If you don't have a W-2, so you can have a 1099. So there are people who only have 1099s, which is good, because if you only have a 1099, then you can bring down your expenses. Now, the problem with some people don't explain to you is, I know you can make all this money and then not have any expense. And have a refund in a lot of expenses. However, if you're planning to get a home, or in the future, you don't want to write off. You don't want to have negative taxes, because it's going to when it comes time to evaluate to get a home, that's going to be taken into consideration. So it's really about planning. It's really about being smart when doing your taxes, and you have to be planning ahead. So that's the most important thing. And like I said, I will work to empower you in any way I possibly can.
Yeah. So Era says, I've been doing my own taxes for about 5 years now, and I don't think I've been doing it right. And she said, sure, email you for help.
Okay, no problem. Email me, and and I know some people, they don't want, we can do Zoom. You can show me what you have on your computer or whatever. No problem. I'm here to help.
Yeah. Hey, Lisa. That's our YouTube best friend. She said she'll watch the replay. Yeah. And guys, thank you guys for your questions. We really appreciate it. Like I said again, I don't just like to spring people on people. Right. So I told John, I said, while I'm up here, we're going to do a live together and just answer a few questions, a few general questions for him to explain, what he does and, how he does it. And, like I always told you about, guys, I like to learn, and he has taught me. So the things that I do know, I learn from him. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Lenore. Kimberly, if you email us at 2chickswithasideHustle@gmail.com, because I'm not going to remember to email you. If you can email us and explain your situation. Hey, Lenore. So if you email us and explain your situation, I can get back to you. You're welcome. Do we have any more questions? And guys, I want to say one thing, and I think John agrees. The tax codes were built for businesses. So they were built for businesses. So employees, if you're a W-2, that's good. But your money really comes when you own your own business.
When you own your own business, exactly.
Yeah. So tax codes and laws were built for businesses. It was not built for employees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, do we have any more questions?
What was that?
So nice, short lady. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Truly appreciate it.
And we're gonna see if John probably opened his own tax YouTube channel. See if he can.
You know what? I will.
Because we like to empower people, and
Right.
he's the same way. He likes to empower people, help people. So maybe he'll do his own YouTube channel just to help people. So do you need to have an LLC? Her name is Yaya. Do you need to have an LLC before starting a business?
No, you do not have to have an LLC. And when you want to consider what I want to do, LLC, S Corp, and all that, that will come later. The first thing to do is to make the determination, hey, I want to start this business. When you make that determination, you're in business, you're in business as a sole proprietor. Now, there are some advantages of being incorporated or a limited liability company. But for right now, you can just say, you can name the name you want. Many times people use their own name to avoid any kind of copyright issues. Name your name, name what you wanted, declare yourself in business, and start moving.
Yeah, and you don't even have to have an EIN. To start.
Not to start. No, you don't even have to have an EIN.
You can do it under your Social Security number. For how many years?
Only a couple years. You know. But with the EIN number, many people use the EIN number because when you start your business and you start using the EIN number, you can actually boost your credit score using the EIN number. There was times when I had a low credit score personally, but when I did my business, American Express was like, well, hey, you're really good in business. We want to give you this type of card. So there are some advantages.
So guys, yeah. So we're here to educate, and like I said, we're gonna talk more in December.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Yaya. In December, when it's close to tax time, because I think people will forget.
Exactly.
So we're gonna talk more in about December, probably around the middle of December, about the taxes and how it pertains to you guys specifically being 1099, and we're gonna give some examples, and we're going to give, some scenarios, and John will give his information if you're interested in him doing your taxes this year, or if you're interested in him just looking over your taxes.
Exactly.
So we're going to do that. We're not going to be on here long. Do we have any more questions?
One venture card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get those likes up.
Yeah.
Get the likes up. But truly appreciate you, Tangi, for having me on.
You're welcome, sure.
And I want to thank your audience for allowing me to entertain and answer any questions. So thanks a lot.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching us. Don't forget to share this video, like this video. And again, we will be back in December. I'll get you a date later, and we'll have John on with us on a Sunday, and we will talk in great detail about things that can impact you as far as the taxes. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for truly.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh,